What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. We are at Kingdom, chapter 871. The chapter began at the Haishin unit. Shin and all his other commanders and some of their soldiers with Kaioten, they're standing and they're talking about Moten's plan. Shin goes, three armies fighting at the same time? Yes. And then Kuokai goes, yes, we're on the left. Gakuka is on the right. And Kuokai will be the main army. That's what Kaioten said. But having two wings that far apart, I don't think we can coordinate our attack. And then she goes, no, we can't coordinate accurately because sending messengers takes a long time. We have no choice but to feel each other's movement. Shin, he's thinking, and he's staring at the board, he's thinking, and then he goes, Muten sending us this plan can mean only one thing. After each line of enemies we face, there must be another wall of soldier behind them. It seems this is another line of defense made by Riboku. And the Kaioten goes, the Gakukai the Gakuka must have faced that wall and realized they can't break through it. So they sent us a message. What about Kuokai? The messenger just got back. She said she agreed with Moten's plan. Now some of the soldiers around the headquarters goes, but if each army break through on different day, then how can we join together in one attack? And then Shin, he goes, did Muten say anything about this? Kaioten, she goes, he said trying to forcefully coordinate things and locate each other will end in failure. So just focus on the enemy in front of you. What's up, gang? Here. He also said that the Gakuka will break through the defense today. And all the other soldiers, they're kind of in shock. So that means we must also break through today. And then Shen goes, yes, we have to. Everybody's Nani? Everybody's in shock. The scene changes to Kuokai in her battlefield. She goes, she's commanding her soldiers, and she's telling them, have my unit push Nashin and Daten near the central, have them fill in gap in the center unit, let the infantry advance with full force, call Ray back out again. And then she gets a message. Kuokai-sama, we have prepared the spear unit. And then she goes, I'm coming. Send a message to Rakuko Sho on the left. Today we shall devastate the Kisu army. Everybody's cheering for her. And she's charging the field. And her soldiers, they're happy. They got her banners flying. Kuokai-sama has descended upon the battlefield. Raise the banner. Tell them Kuokai-sama is here to elevate the morale. We shall break through to the front line with a single charge. Understood. And they're charging. And now we switch back to the Gakuka battlefield. And you see Aizen and them just chopping enemy down. And then we flip over to the enemy side, the Zhao side. Kotumen Haku's headquarters. General, the left is under a lot of pressure. The right wing is also starting to crumble. And then he goes, I know. Push them back with the reserve. And then he turns around and he goes, seriously? Banaji promised us he'll send us aid. I have waited for a long time and he still hasn't sent anyone. Gang, what's up? I distributed my unit based on him sending me aid, and the narrators came on. After Yotanwa's army was shattered, Banaji realized that he has plenty of spare soldiers, so he decided to send 10,000 to Kotuhiku. Kosumihaku. That's so Banaji and Shenshuju, they were fighting against the Yotana army. What's up, gang? And then after Yotana was attacked and brought down, what's up, gang? Banaji thinks that he had all these spare soldiers, so he was sending it to reinforce Kotumihaku, who is facing against Muten's army. However, the reinforcement did not appear because as they were crossing through the mountain field, they were ambushed by Baggio and Kitara of the Mira tribe. And the scene changes to the mountain people. Baggio and Kitara are just tearing down the Zhao soldiers. That trap was set up by none other than the 100 Eye tribe. And then the daughter goes, "It was my idea." The Yotana army started retreating slowly after losing her and getting attacked as they fled, but they handled the weight of defeat steadfastly as to not affect the Gakukais next to them. Baggio and Kitara's force split from the main army and hid in the forest between the two fields. Um, the mountain people. So technically, Yotana and Moten's army, they're between the Muten's armies to the left, Yotana's armies to the right. A thin strip of forest divide them, and while the mountain people were retreating, Kitara and Baggio they basically went and hide in the forest. Now, when Banaji sent his force, his 10,000 reinforcement to Muten's army or against Muten's army to the other battlefield, Baggio and Katara were able to um, intercept him and ambush him. The hidden unit in the forest did not exceed 2,000 soldiers. However, the position and might of the mountain army in familiar terrain tricked the reinforcement army into thinking their numbers were equal to them or more. And in all that chaos, Baggio, who was able to relinquish his anger after Yotana's fall, plucked the enemy's commander's head. After the commander was killed and their line shattered, they fell back to their original position. That's why reinforcement never came for Kotu Mihaku, because they were basically ambushed and they thought that Baggio had more, like at least 10,000 soldiers or more, but he only had 2,000. And so because of that, they basically retreated back to the original position. Where'd you get this? The scene changes back to him. Damn it, we will reposition the force. The enemy is focusing on our wings. Send over the reserve to both wings immediately. It changes to Bad Banaji's son. His name is Bafuji. And then Fuji goes, Kotumi Haku-san, you send your soldier to the wings? You may have pushed with this decision. You may have rushed with this decision. The enemy central army hasn't. And as soon as he said that, Moten goes, charge! And they're charging the center army now. Aizen Sama. Moten Sama is leading the charge himself. Shouldn't we send some aid? And Aizen go, no need for that. Muten Sama's army is very strong. You see Muten just cutting down the Zhao soldiers. And Kotumi Haku, he goes, no problem yet. If they want to fight it out in the center, my personal unit will destroy them. And so now both center army are fighting. And from the Gyakukas soldier, they go, these soldiers, are they the elite? That's their General Muten. Kill him. And they're all kind of worried for Muten. But then all suddenly the two Zhao soldier that are rushing Muten gets their head cut off. Pitching by none other than Soku. He uh he cut off the two Zhao soldiers' head and he goes, our morale had reached its limit. Let's fall back a bit. And then Muten looked at him. Muten goes, you're the one who needs to fall back. I don't need guarding. You came with 500 soldiers, right? Send them back to the position. And Soku goes, my fingers are at stake here. If anything happened to you, and then Muten goes, it was a joke. Soko goes, no, he was very serious. Aizen, in a previous chapter, there was a little panel where Aizen told Soku to defend Muten with his life. Otherwise, Aizen will cut off his fingers. And that's why this panel was talking about it. My unit is made up of elite. They can manage themselves without me. Because Muten is telling him to go back. And then Muten go, okay, I'll give you that. Then let's move forward together and break their lines. And then Soko, he he talks to Muten and he goes, I would like that, but I'll be happier if you fall back a bit. Muten's like, nope, not doing it. And he goes, all right, look like I won't be able to convince you. Muten Sama, will Rishin and Kuokai really be able to break through? And then you see Muten, he smiles and he goes, maybe, who knows? Now we change the scene to the Kuokai army versus the Kisu army. Kuokai, she's leading the charge. And then she goes, even with my personal unit, I can't seem to break through as expected. The Kisu army is very experienced. The Kuokai soldiers, they're screaming. They're like, enemy's unit is coming from behind. And damn it, again, they're being rushed everywhere. And they're kind of like surrounded. Now they go, that unit just got outmaneuvered. Who did that? Which unit did they belong to? Because they're being charged from behind from one of the Kisu army. And then a unit came out of nowhere to block them. Kokai soldier, they're like, okay, they just got outplayed. Or the Zhao soldiers just got outplayed. Whose unit is that? And you see, it was Rakuasho. And then he goes, General Kuokai, leave this battlefield to us and continue moving forward. But weren't they engaging the Bati army on our left? Did you really split up your force to catch up to us? And then Kuokai's, she goes, Rakuasho, no matter. Oh, she goes, Rakuasho. And then Rakuasho goes, no matter. We will curb the enemy's advance until your forces break through their rank. And then we will fall back to reorganize and join up with your army if we can. And Kukai soldier, they're like, what? There's no way you can take on both of the Jigen forces on your own. Rakuasho. And then because Rakuasho, they're they're the Han soldier. their their unit are Han soldier, and then one of the Han soldier goes, "Go, soldier of Kuokai. If you do not go now, then our stand as a shield will have been in vain. If you truly consider us brother in arm, then cast aside your hesitation and go. Go forward." And this kind of touched the Kuokai soldier. They're like bawling their eyes out. You guys. And Kuokai, she's just staring down the field. And then finally she goes, "Concentrate your force on the center once more. We will not waste this chance. We will break through the Kisu army now." And then she turns to um Rakuasho and she goes, "Don't you dare die, Sho." And then Sho goes, I'm just gonna call him Sho. Sho goes, "No, you, General. Let's go." "Oh, forgive me, Rakuasho." Oh, okay. Now Kuokai's don't eat that. Now Kuokai goes, she's thinking to herself, "Forgive me, Rakuasho, your sacrifice will not be in vain." I mean, if she's saying your sacrifice, do she expect him to die or something? The scene changes back to the Haishin unit versus the combined force of the Fute, Kaine, and Chokotu unit. And we see Garo and his soldiers, they're telling the Black Yo, they're telling, no, they're telling Garo that they're not making any progress because I guess the defense is sturdy. The Zhao defense is sturdy. Fute, he laughs and he goes, "Of course it is. After all, mine and Kaine's headquarters are being led by Ripoku Sama's military student." And then he has a little side note goes, "I'm also a genius too, though." And then he continued talking. Not to mention, the Chokotu's army on the right is the royal army of Catan. So Catan, they're the army that defend Catan, but they outclass every other army in skills and strength. And then he has a little side note. I don't really like them though. He funny. Now it changes back to Shin. "Captain, the left army is collapsing. That's dangerous, Lieutenant Aang." Because Lieutenant Aang is to the left. And "Lieutenant Aang, we're in danger. We're surrounded." And then Lieutenant Aang goes, "Calm down. Reform the line first." And you see uh Cho Chokotu, he's smirking. He goes, "Perish." And then they hear this rumble. He looks, and there's an army over there at like the far corner. An army just appeared, and he goes, "What is that army?" That army is Yoko Yoko and the Han soldiers. Well, they're quit now, but it's the Yoko Yoko army. And then Yoko Yoko goes, "Prepare the for attack formation," and they all cheer. In a chapter. Yeah, it's going down. So this chapter began with Muten and his plan, and they started with Shin. They're debating Muten's plan, and they realize that there's even after they break through, there's still another line of defense, and for that to happen, they decided that they will go with Muten's plan. And from there, Muten actually tells because they can't really coordinate because the battlefield is so large. But Muten tells them that Muten's gonna break through today. And so that forces them to break through today too. Because if all three armies break through at once, the second line of defense, there might only be one line of defense. We don't know yet. And so that's why all three armies gonna try to break through today. That is the chapter. That's the gist of it. And now the Han soldiers, they're also coming into play because we know that they joined the Hai Shen unit. Some of them went to Shan and Shun. Some of them went to Kuokai. So we know that, but we have never seen their battlefield or how dedicated they are to the Quinn soldiers. And we will find out as soon as they enter the fray, which they did. So as soon as the battlefield starts, we'll see. Yoko is my man. He he is the shiznitz, the shiznitz. He he is strong. He's my guy. He will. I personally feel like he's gonna prevent the Catan soldier, the Royal Catan soldier, and he's gonna prevent them from actually advancing and stopping the Shin's army, the Shin unit, because Shin's leading a unit himself to charge them, and so I think he's gonna be able to stop them. He, I'm, I'm saying it right now, right now. I'm calling it right now. Yoko is gonna kill Chokotsu. Okay, I'm calling it right now. No, right. What when chapter 872 comes out, we'll talk about it. No, right.